Yo, what's good, YouTube? This is Jay from TNJ, and welcome back to the Nashville Stars franchise. We are here at the trade deadline, and today we look to improve our team. For the second straight year, we will be competing, so we are buyers at the trade deadline. And looking at all the other teams, there are a lot of guys out here on the trade block, so we will have kind of our pick of the litter here. But one guy I want to talk about trading that has probably the most value in our entire organization probably is John Dumont, strictly because of his age and where he's at right now. 87 overall, a high B potential. He's gone down from an A, so he can probably bring back quite a bit. I look at a team rebuilding like the Cincinnati Reds, who really need a middle infielder. They have Greg Jones at shortstop, Matt McClain. Both of them are hitting pretty poorly. I mean, around what John Dumont would be hitting, but John Dumont is about 6 or 7 overalls higher and about 4 years younger. So I look at a guy that I really focus on here in the outfield, and Dante Wild, a guy that has a good arm, a good bat, is a AAA All-Star at this point. He already has some MLB experience, and he is a subscriber prospect. His ratings were modified earlier this season, but I decided to keep an eye on him, and he was doing well, so I am going to try to trade for him. And John Dumont warrants more than just him. So Fernando Gutierrez, who is a good relief pitcher, who actually has good stamina, will also come over. So we get two 23-year-old C potential guys. One is 83 overall. The other is a mid-70s overall at 75 overall. But 23 years old, 119 with 4.44 ERA. I definitely like this move. So John Dumont, we turn him into two C potential guys, but 23 years old, so we get a year younger than him, and we get two guys who will contribute pretty much right away. I will keep Wild down at AAA for a few weeks and then eventually move him up, but that's the only trade we're going to do here at the deadline. But today, it's more about Stephen Brennan and his major league debut. He had his best season in AAA this year, 2.89 ERA, a 1.29 WHIP. He is the first overall selection in this entire series. So here is his MLB debut. He faces the Red Sox. Here's Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, who will round out to third, and Stephen Brennan does get a out in his first AB facing major league hitting. Here's Marcelo Mayer at the plate, who hits one hard to the right side. That one will get down for a single. This was the issue with Stephen Brennan. He gave up a ton of hits in his minor league career. Hopefully he can rectify that at the MLB level. Here's Xander Bogaerts at the plate, who hits one well on a hit-and-run situation to the right side of the infield, and that gets through. Justin Faith was covering second on the steal. So now they have runners on the corners here with Johan Mieses at the plate now. He's hitting 211 in that fourth spot for the rebuilding Red Sox. A low pitch, but he hits this one hard up the middle. This one will get through, and it looks like Bogaerts will get to third. Mieses will get to second, and it is now a 1-0 game as Stephen Brennan, in his first inning of MLB action, gives up an RBI. That brings up the next batter, a tapper right back to the pitcher, and it will bring up 2 outs in the inning. As Jonathan Scope comes to the plate, hard ground ball to Willy Adames, and an easy throw to first base, but Boston gets one on the board here in the first. So Stephen Brennan off to a kind of rocky start. Next inning starts out with a swing and miss in the dirt, and he will get his first strikeout of his career. That will bring up the second batter here, Adolis Garcia, who will swing and miss at an inside fastball. That fastball can get up to 98 mile an hour on the gun. Is now 2 outs. Another one. He strikes out the side here in the second inning. You can definitely see his best pitch is probably that fastball. As we move on to the third inning, we're still covering Stephen Brennan here on the mound. He gives up a leadoff single here. And more hits for Boston as they keep this inning going. That brings up the top of the lineup as Marcelo Mayer comes to the plate. He hits one hard to the left side and 2 straight hits to start out the third inning. That brings up the number 3 hitter, Xander Bogaerts, who goes down the right field line. That one is fair. It will score 1 DTW with the strong throw to the cutoff man, but a 2-0 game here for the Red Sox. And Bogaerts comes through. There's still no outs in this inning. Runners on the corners here. Mieses at the plate again, and he hits one well. Off of the Green Monster. It will score 1. He will stay at first, but the runner will advance all the way to third, and now they have runners on the corners once again. 3-0 Boston. Max Schrock to the plate now. He hits a fly ball to left field. This one will be caught, but a runner will stay at third as now with 1 out. This one hit down the right field line. Barely fair. Ground rule double here for Scope, and now it is 4-0. Brennan off to a rocky start. Still runners on second and third. Ground ball to third. Devers does not go home with it. And it's now a 5-0 game in Boston's favor. We keep the rookie in there as he gives up a hit down the left field line to Adolis Garcia. And it is now 6-0 in the debut of Stephen Brennan. Good throw by Ramon Elgato, and he will get him at second. Wow, what a rocky start to Stephen Brennan's career. This was kind of the knock on him. He gives up a whole lot of hits, and in his debut, he ends up losing to the rebuilding Red Sox. And I'm only covering Stephen Brennan here in the first half of this episode, and he ends up with the loss, giving up 9 hits and 6 earned. Well, hopefully brighter days ahead of him as he goes into his second start, now facing the 54-65 Detroit Tigers. I at least wanted to give him starts versus teams that weren't so, well at hitting the baseball, aren't so good. And did you see the numbers after that first start? 18 ERA, 9 hits, 3 innings. We'll see what he can do today. Facing Detroit now, who has a lot of young players in their organization, especially Spencer Torkelson hitting in that 3 spot. As that brings up Juan Caldenti, who was one of the subscriber prospects now at the MLB level. He will ground out to third. 2 outs here, a better start than last game, as that brings up Torkelson hitting .264 on the year, and he goes to opposite field. 3-2 pitch, he goes the other way. That one will be a single. And now they have a runner on first base. That brings up Eugenio Suarez, who is still kicking here in the MLB, and he hits one well to left side. That one gets through. Stephen Brennan, after getting the first 2 outs, gives up 2 straight hits. Riley Green to the plate, hits one hard to the right side, but it is going to be snagged by Kerry Doss. I think the issue with Stephen Brennan is he needs a better second pitch. His fastball is good, but what else is he going to lean on? That's the thing. Christian Arroyo here in the 7th spot. He's going to ground out to third base. 2 outs here in this inning. As that will bring up Garrett Hampson, now playing for Detroit, hitting .249 on the year. He hits one well to center field, and that one will be run down by Enrique Bradfield Jr. On to the top of the 3rd inning, still a 0-0 game here, as that one will bring up the leadoff hitter of this inning, and it will be a double down the left field line. Trammell playing in left field today. And now they have a runner on second base here with no outs. Let's see if Stephen Brennan has what it takes to get out of jams like this, where a runner in scoring position. This is a situation where, it's going to be pretty common. He does get a ground ball to second base, so now that will be 1 out. We'll see if he can get a strikeout here or a fly ball in the infield, something to prevent that run from coming across the plate. So that brings up Juan Caldenti to the plate, and he hits a soft ground ball, and that one gets through the infield straight up the middle. 1-0 here for the Detroit Tigers. And now with a man on first base here, 1 out, that one will bring up Spencer Torkelson, probably the best hitter in the organization. Stephen Brennan backhands this one, but he does not go to second base. Probably could have had the double play right there. Instead, he goes to first. Eugenio up to the plate now with 2 outs. He hits a bomb to left field, high in the air, deep at the track, and it will remain in the park. That one was close, but Juan Caldenti, one of the subscriber prospects, makes this a 1-0 game. Top 4 now is Stephen Brennan facing Riley Green, and this is the thing. He's just got to get better at keeping runners off base, and that brings up Akil Baddoo. Ground ball to first. That one will be 2. The one difference I see from Troy Quincy and when he was a pitcher early on in his rookie season is that he definitely had a lot of ground balls, but Stephen Brennan, all batters are getting the ball up in the air pretty much as Christian Arroyo hits one deep to right field for a ground rule double. Garrett Hampson at the plate, and he goes up and in, and he actually gets them. So Garrett Hampson will be on first base as that brings up Pablo Aliendo, who is 1 for 1 on the day, and he hits one up the middle. That one gets through. Detroit will go up 2-0 here. Wow, Stephen Brennan is just getting hits very, very well in his first 2 starts. Bringing up the top of the lineup here, Alvaro Rivero, and he will ground out to short. And that one will be the second run of the inning through 4 innings. We do get 2 back as that brings up the top of the 5th inning. Here's a fly ball to right field, but Dom Thompson Williams, you don't see that every day, kind of lollygags to that fly ball, and it ends up getting over his head as Juan Caldenti has a double once again. You never see that from Dom Thompson Williams. He always takes fielding seriously. Nothing like that as the next batter, Spencer Torkelson, will ground out to second base. Stephen Brennan has another one of these situations here. Let's see if he can prevent this run. Ground ball to short. That's good enough to score 3-2 Detroit. You know, the thing with Brennan, like I said, is that third pitch. But before you get to the third, you got to get the second first as Riley Green comes up. Ground ball to second, but a wild throw by Justin Faith. And that's an E4. This inning continues as Akil Baddoo comes to the plate now. A 1-2 pitch. He leaves it over the middle of the zone, and Akil Baddoo gets enough on this one. It gets all the way to the wall in right center field. It will score the runner all the way from first. 4-2 for the Tigers. Not an ideal start here to his MLB career for Stephen Brennan. As that brings up Garrett Hampson, and he will ground out back to Brennan. He will pitch only 5 innings in this one. I didn't want to leave him in too long, but we do end up coming back and winning this game, actually. Brennan doesn't get credited with the win, but at least we get the comeback victory here. But Brennan in his first 2 starts wasn't overly impressive, and this was kind of what I feared, that he would kind of get shelled right away. He was having a better year in AAA, but maybe this has to be a full year in AAA before he really shows what he can do at the MLB level. So we move on a couple of weeks here in the month of July now, and we move into the month of August, and now we get to see the debut of Dante Wild. We acquired him. He was one of the subscriber prospects, so that Y will be removed from his name. I do keep that on other teams' players' names that are subscriber prospects so I can keep track of them. But now he gets moved up, and he will play left field. He's got an excellent arm, and he will hit in that 7th spot, so we'll see what he can do. His first at-bat here versus the Tampa Bay Rays. We'll see what he can do here on the road as he gets a pitch over the middle. The first pitch he sees is a ground ball up the middle, and this one will be an RBI single. And how about that for your first at-bat here with the Nashville Stars? 4-0 in the first inning for Nashville also. We've kind of been beaten up on Tampa Bay in this series, to be honest. They have just not been competitive any one of these years. So now we have Wild on first base, and he can run a little bit. 76 speed, 61 steal. He will go on this pitch, and he will be in safe, barely around the tag, but he does have some speed. So that is definitely something we will be using. He's got the wheels, and it's pretty decent. Like, it's not slow at all. 76 speed is actually, like, pretty good. He comes up in the 7th inning after a 1-for-3 day now, facing Frankie Montas, and he will watch this one on the outside half. That one will be ball 4. So he gets one more opportunity here in the 9th inning facing Scott Alexander. Nice to see him face a lefty now as he goes to left field. That one will be fair. He has his 2nd RBI of the game here. Arozarena fields that one coming up throwing, and that one will give us an extra run of insurance in the 9th. But you can just see why we acquired Dante Wild. He is a left-handed hitter, throws left as well, but he's just an all-around solid hitter, and I think that's the one upgrade I wanted over Dumont. I wanted somebody who can like contribute at that kind of bottom of the lineup. I'm not sure if Dante Wild will ever be like a top of the lineup guy, but we will try him out there. You never know. But I think that, you know, the 2-3-4 is kind of taken up right now with DTW, Willie Adames, Kerry Doss, and obviously Rafael Devers. So I think Wild can be like a 7, maybe even a 6 hitter. And if Enrique Bradfield shows that he can't be a leadoff, Wild can maybe hit leadoff. So here he is facing some elite pitching now. I want to see what he can do versus Brandon Woodruff as we are on the road versus the New York Yankees. 0 for 1. That one will be the best contact he's had all day today, though, as he grounds out into a double play here, as that one will be Jonathan India, who tags out the runner going to second. On to the top of the 9th inning. Here is Jordan Romano on the mound facing Wild, and he will walk here. And one thing I like about Wild is that he does have a good eye. He has good discipline. He gives you good counts. I play on quick counts, and it always starts out with maybe like a 1-1 count, 2-1, rarely at a 1-2 count. But we do end up losing this game versus the Yankees. Remember, we're in a tight race with the Yankees, but this was more about seeing Dante Wild here as he faces them here the next day, facing Trevor Williams here in the top of the 8th inning. And he gets solid wood on this one, and that one will be a single up the middle. And I like Dante Wild. I like his stance, actually, too. It's pretty easy to read balls and strikes. Some players have stances where it's kind of hard to read. But here he is at the end of the month of August, facing the Oakland Athletics. Wanted to get a good dose of games here playing just strictly with him. And he hits one hard up the middle, and that one will hit off of the pitcher, Irv Carter, who's in his first career start in this game. And he's actually hitting in that leadoff spot. I said I wanted to try him out there, so why not just do it versus the Oakland Athletics, who are rebuilding? That brings up Rafael Devers to the plate in the 3-hole, and he hits one well down the right field line, but that one will be foul. 3-2 pitch. It looks like Wild is on the run, and Devers watches that one, and it's going to be called strike 3. But he does get a stolen bag right there, but the first career strikeout will be versus Rafael Devers. So Wild on second base, hit to right field. We'll see if he can score from second here, and the gather on that throw was way too long to get Wild at the plate. And you can just see maybe this is something that we might have to explore a little bit. Dante Wild can hit some leadoff. Here he is in the bottom of the 5th inning. Enrique Bradfield was hitting last today, and that put Dante Wild first in the lineup as he gets one over the middle of the plate. This one's hit well to right field. It's going to go back to the wall, and it's gone. Dante Wild's first career home run will come against the Athletics here at home. He brings in Enrique Bradfield, and maybe these two will have to hit 9-1. I like his approach at the plate. He's got a nice smooth swing, and you can just see the potential from his bat. Remember, he's only 23 years old. He has a high C potential. I believe it's at 79 right now. And that will do it here, and I love what I see from this young kid. This was the episode of debuts. We saw Stephen Brennan. He wasn't overly impressive, but I think that this kid, Wild, is going to be pretty good for us and could be the eventual replacement for Dom Thompson-Williams down the road also. So here in the month of August, we end up actually beating the Yankees 2 out of 3, end up sweeping Oakland, losing to Cincinnati 2 of 3, and then winning our last game of the month. But in a few starts here in August, Stephen Brennan just not off to a good start in his career. 5 games started we gave him. He's only lasted 23 innings, a 1.90 whip at 8.75 ERA, only 1 quality start. So I'm thinking that maybe we just need to move him to the bullpen for now and then maybe go back to Damian Houston, moving him back up to the starting rotation, at least for the time being. We do have some free agents who are available, like Clayton Kershaw is still in free agency. We could end up signing him. I don't know if that would be realistic or not, but we could explore that. He isn't like his 60 overall, though, but even at like 69 overall, low 70s, he was still like a really good pitcher last season. So we end up with the last month of the season in next episode. In September, you see we play St. Louis, who is 8 games over 500. But then the rest of our schedule is kind of lighter. We play a lot of teams under 500, but then we end the season with the New York Yankees. But pretty much everybody except the St. Louis Cardinals and the Yankees are under 500. So we could go on a big run here and build some momentum going into the playoffs. But I love what I'm seeing from our team. I think the right guys are starting to get hot at the right time. I definitely want to see Dom Thompson-Williams improve a bit, but our pitching is still great. McDougal and Quincy are having an excellent year. So is Ty Macklin. Ty Macklin is going to lead our team in wins this year more than likely. I mean, that's the type of year he's having. We'll see if that kind of translates to the playoffs. We did not acquire any pitching at the deadline like we did last year. We kind of riding out with our young guys. So next episode, I said the regular season would be 5 episodes. It's going to be 6 this year. I kind of miscalculated that, but one more episode on the season. We will wrap up and recap the regular season. Hopefully we win the division so we can avoid that wild card game, but we'll see how we finish. Let me know what you guys think of the trade. John Dumont is gone, and let me know what you guys think we should do with Steven Brennan. Hit subscribe, hit that like button. Stay tuned. Let's get it. Let's go.
I like getting money, I got time to get it. Target on me, so my car's a tenant. Dancing with the devil, I don't bargain with it. Bobbing in the dash, and the stick is with it. And I hit the 4-5 on the west side. But I'm from the east side, this how we slide. This how we ride, yeah, this how we ride.